Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Sales Technology Breakdown. Today I'm with Nicholas, my esteemed colleague, and we're talking to Abhijit Mitra, the CEO of Outreach. How are you doing today?
Good, very good. David, thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. I know that you took time out from your internal RKO to talk to us today, and we're super excited to dive in on what you're working on.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're both excited and honored.
thanks, Nicholas. Great to be here.
Yeah,
So,
you joined in Outreach in 2023, and you had a pretty solid career before. So, to start with, what attracted you to both Outreach, I guess, and the sales tech industry?
Well, Nicholas, I've been pretty passionate about sales tech and CRM in general, actually. So if you look at my profile, I started my career in Oracle and then SAP and then ServiceNow. And in each of these companies, I introduced new product lines and grew the business. That's sort of my background. So I was looking for the next big thing to do. And then I ran into Manny, actually, and he told me about outreach and what's happening in the sales tech industry. And I was super excited because I was looking at how AI can actually drive productivity for people. That's the journey I was on. And so when I heard the story of outreach, I was like, I just wanted to be part of it. And I still remember that I said, Manny, I need to see the product. I need to believe that what you're saying is actually true. So he said, "Okay, why don't you come to Dreamforce? We have a booth there." And so I came to Dreamforce in 2023, where Outreach had a booth, and so I just sat there listening to the customer conversations and how we are pitching the product and what people are liking about our product. And I was actually just blown away to hear how excited the users are to use Outreach. I've been building enterprise software for like most of my career, and when we work in our companies, we're not so excited to work on our enterprise tools. So I was blown away with this feedback that I got from our customers and our prospects, and so I said, "Look, I have to be here." So that's why I joined Outreach.
Awesome.
yeah,
And Dave,
and
I need to tell you that I actually met with Abhijit many years ago when he was building the customer-facing solution for ServiceNow.
That's right.
And back then it was almost, it was a non-existent business.
Yeah.
And it grew to the point, I think last May, ServiceNow shared that they were getting as many new customers with what they call customer workflows as they're getting from the traditional IT product. So it tells you that Jeep knows a thing or two about the space.
Yeah.
Now, um, Outreach is known mostly as sales engagement, outbound inside sales.
Yes.
And but you've been on a journey almost 10 years, well, more than 10 years to completely expand the value proposition. So maybe would be good to make sure all our audience really understand the breadth of what you offer and take us through your journey expanding the product footprint.
Absolutely. Before I do that, and for our audience, I just want to throw a little bit of light on what's happening in the industry of sales tech industry. So Outreach, we are the market leader in sales engagement, and we've been doing this for over 10 years now. And sales engagement as a category has merged with Salesforce automation, which has merged with revenue intelligence. So three separate markets actually have come together into one big market. Gartner and Forrester are giving different names to that. There'll be a Gartner MQ this year as well. And super exciting development there. It's a huge $25 billion market, growing at 11% CAGR to 65 billion by 2033. And the interesting thing is that the sales engagement part of that market is the fastest growing at 14% CAGR. And we are the market leaders in there. So that's where we are playing. Um, Now, beyond sales engagement, which is what we are really well known for, because the markets have been converging, we have also been expanding our portfolio into conversation intelligence, deal management, and forecasting. So that's where Salesforce automation, revenue intelligence, sales engagement is all coming together into one platform. So what Outreach does today is help you reach out into your prospects, build your pipeline, manage your accounts, coach your reps in real time while you're doing that with post call, post meeting conversational intelligence and analytics for managers, into opportunity and deal management guided by AI and forecasting. And all of this for not just building your new business, but also retaining and expanding your existing business.
And you, along the way from inside sales, you started to serve, reps, customer success, and sales ops. So the persona it feels have expanded as well.
Yes, we still are very focused on inside sales, and that is our core. And then beyond that, with the expanded portfolio, we sell into various persona. So full cycle sales reps, whether it's mid-market sellers, commercial sellers, even enterprise sellers, field sellers. We have a new mobile app now for field sellers as well, and all the way into the post-sales account management and customer success as well, um, with reps and managers on the outreach platform. That's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And,
So
and it can it also be used for executives and the high level forecasting and that aspect of it. Is that
Yes,
one of the yeah.
there's a huge focus on forecasting and analytics, um,
Mm.
for CROs, for sales leaders. And so some of our largest customers are actually using outreach for that. You would have seen soon a press release from Siemens on how they are standardizing globally their forecasting process on outreach across 27 countries and growing. And so that's something that we are also very much focused on.
interesting. And from an industry standpoint, are you mostly focused on the technology or um, pretty much all segments?
We are focused on all segments. So naturally, for many of software companies, we start with the high tech focus. Salesforce did that. ServiceNow did that. So outreach also we did the same. So a lot of our customers are in the high tech industry, and then beyond that, we've expanded into telecommunications. So we have some of the largest telecommunications providers in Northern America as our customers today. And then beyond that, we have customers in financial services who use us today for very sales compliance use cases as well. And then manufacturing, business services. So we have a large variety of customers who are using outreach today, and these are not just local, like country specific. These are actually global deployments. So ServiceNow, SAP, Siemens. These are all large customers who are using us globally across many, many countries actually. So that's where we are today.
Awesome. Yeah, always back to what you were saying about Salesforce automation. I always thought that it was a complete misnomer. Talking with reps that were frustrated with the amount of manual work they have to do to enter information into the system. And I always view the side of sales engagement with the automation of workflow as the true delivering on the true promise of Salesforce automation, that part.
That's right, Nicholas. So one of the basic premise of outreach is that we are a system of action. And let me explain to you what that means. Like, so basically, when you are reaching out to customers, working on deals, doing your forecasting, all of that stuff, you are interacting with people. People are interacting with people, and a lot of those interactions are actually done via outreach. In the absence of outreach, you would have had to use emails and spreadsheets and phone calls, and everything would be done outside of a CRM. So what we did was we created the system of action, which is essentially a set of workflows which automate these repetitive tasks for reps, and then give the visibility into the managers to see what's going on in their organizations. Um, so that's what outreach is about. It's really a set of workflows, a set of tasks that's automated, and we use AI in automating a lot of that work within outreach. So in the end, as a rep, you know what you have to do. The system does a lot of that work for you, and it just makes your life simpler and easier. And all of this data that you see within Outreach is actually synced up with your backend CRM. For us, CRM is where the records reside. It's a system of record for us. So we sync data from CRM. You act on the data, you create additional data, you do your work, your daily work, and you sync the data back into CRM. So you maintain a system of record in the CRM system.
Awesome.
In your mind, is the best case scenario that the implementation starts with the senior executives and they set sort of the goal plan and then it moves down to the managers and to the reps? Or do you see it, it can really start anywhere in that organization?
Yeah, it's a very good question, David. So when we are talking about a sales transformation, as I'm seeing many of our large global customers undertake, some of these are very challenging, and they definitely start at the top. All the way from absolutely at the top at the CEO level. That's where this starts from. That's where you set the goals and targets for what you want to achieve, and then getting visibility into are you getting there or not is super critical. So we see a lot of customer interest in starting from that forecasting pipeline visibility angle. And then when you start having the conversations there, it's like, okay, so how do you get that visibility? You get that visibility because the conversations that are actually happening, the insights are happening, and the actions are getting taken within Outreach from those conversations. So that's how you get the visibility, which is where conversation intelligence comes in. And why are the conversations happening within Outreach? Well, the steps are getting automated using workflows for sales engagement, pre-sales or post-sales using Outreach. And hence you have the conversation data in Outreach. So it kind of feeds on itself. So that's what the most strategic discussions are around, and that kind of a workflow.
Awesome. So, how do you see your differentiation as we move into 2025?
Yes. So, um, so basically, I am at the core of Outreach. So I come from a product background, so I'm very excited about the product. So I'll talk a little bit about the product. Hopefully, that's okay with the audience. Um, so at the core of Outreach, like I said, we are a system of action, which means that we are automating your daily work, right? What do you have to do? You have to follow up with the customer. You have to work on this opportunity. Here's what 10 things you have done well, 5 things you have not done that you have to do. Uh, you're not pacing fast enough. You need to pace faster. And to the managers, we give the same insights, right? So as and when you're doing all of this work, you're creating data. And so at the core of Outreach, we actually have a data cloud that we include in our license for every customer. In this data cloud, we gather all of the data that's being generated through as you're working on within Outreach. Okay. And as I mentioned before, you get all the CRM data synced in there, as well as third-party connected systems also. So we have a pretty open ecosystem as well, and we have integrations with a lot of different systems out there. So now with this data, which is actually real-time data because it's actually happening as and when you're having the conversations, as and when you're actually working on deals, as and when you're doing the forecasting. The AI, we have an AI engine sitting on top of that, which is listening into all of these data points and in real time, telling you what should you be doing next. So it's not analytics and it's not like stale data. It's actually data in motion. The data is actually moving, it's changing. And so we're tapping into the data, we're finding out the insights, and we are creating essentially workflow steps which are helping you act on that data. And these steps is what we have codified into our what we call workflows, our sales execution workflows, all the way from prospecting to coaching to deal management forecasting for retain and expand as well as net new. So the differentiation of Outreach is that you have the data, you have the AI, and you have codified, pre-built best practices built into the platform. So
Got it.
that's our differentiation.
Okay.
And for example, it's almost like having a coach, on your shoulder for the sales rep who's taking in all the data from your own system and from external sources and giving you advice essentially on what's the best next step. Is that correct?
That absolutely correct. And when this advice that you talked about, like we believe that technology is in the service of people. That's in fact our company purpose is unleash your best performance. And so this coach is there to help you unleash your best performance. We believe that we should unleash our best performance, but at the same time, we should help our customers unleash their best performance too. So this coach is actually the AI engine, and we've taken it one step further. What we're doing is there's a lot of talk around agentic AI in the market today. A lot of startups are. It's very exciting for me to see actually all the innovation that's happening in the market. A lot of large companies are also claiming they do agentic AI. But true agentic AI, for true agentic AI, you need data that you can act on. And so we have the data. And we also have the AI engine and we have the expertise to know which steps of that workflow the AI agent can do autonomously on your behalf versus where you actually, the human, needs to step in. So technology in the service of people, unleashing your best performance is about making sure that every rep can perform like your best rep. And the only way you can do this is when the AI works hand in hand with the human. So that's our AI agentic foray into the market. Um, we have launched an AI prospecting agent, which is the first agent that we have brought to the market. That will actually do some of the prospecting work on your behalf. And then there's a lot more that we are doing going forward.
Yeah, and just
Thanks.
one more quick thing on that is I would like someone to look at all of my data and everything that's going on in my life and then just tell me what to do. Like what's the best act forward that's going to get me to my goal based on the AI engine. I don't have that right now. So I and Nicholas knows this. I spend most of what's that?
It's really you saying we do know what you need to do, David.
Yes, yes. I mean, I spend most of my day just sort of walking around wondering what I'm supposed to be doing. So I really need something like this.
No, so to on on all seriousness, we believe that reps and managers actually they do know what they are supposed to be doing. That is not the issue. The issue here is that there's too much to do.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
and
And
information.
yes, too much information, too much to do. Like just take for example that I want to reach out. So I have a sales play that I'm running. Okay. Let's say I'm targeting high tech customers in North America, public companies who have had a fantastic quarter, let's say. And now I know that they will buy more of my software. So, okay, like when do I know this information and what do I do with the information?
Yeah.
And how up to date can I be? What if there was an AI agent which is actually doing this work on my behalf, listening to all the 10K reports out there, all the quarterly earnings in my ICP, and identifying those accounts that will be best for me, and not just those accounts, the people in those accounts who are the right audience, the right target for me. And when the time is right, identify that account, identify the prospect, do a match of what I have to sell versus what my buyer wants to buy, craft out that email, send it out, and run a sequence, and then come back to me and tell me that when you actually received a positive response from a customer, that's when I want to have the real meaningful discussions of discovery and finding out what your pain points are and help you get a solution that is really meaningful and useful for you, right? So that's how we envision this, like agents and humans working hand in hand with each other.
Yeah. So it makes exactly. I was going to ask you what's your vision, and because out in the marketplace, there's a lot of autonomous agents, where the word autonomous becomes the almost the way these are sold, and what you suggest is a different vision for the for AI and how the role it should play. So maybe you can talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. Love to. The outreaches, experience with AI has been for a very long time. So we started using predictive AI to help look at past data and then recommend like what do you think the future is going to look like, and we use that in forecasting big time actually, based on how your teams are naturally used to working, like who is sandbagging where, who's aggressively, who's too much aggressive. So based on that, the AI actually is able to tell you that what your forecast number should be. And we use that internally, and it's pretty accurate for us. And I'm sure, hopefully, it's accurate for many of our customers as well. So that's an example of predictive AI. With the advent of generative AI, we introduced co-pilots or assists. So assist, for example, you're looking at an opportunity and you want to know what's going on in the opportunity. So you ask a question, the AI gives you the answer. Oh, this opportunity is going too slow, it's going too fast. You're not going too fast is good. And you may actually close this, going too slow is not that great. And you may be connected to the right stakeholders, not to right stakeholders. So all of these things, the AI is doing it. And my favorite question is there, I mean, at the account level, that's deal assist. We have account assist as well, where I go and ask, hey, what's the health of this account? And no matter what my team tells me, the AI always tells me the truth because it's listening to all the conversations and everything and all the emails and telling me, hey, this account is not looking so great. You may want to look at this actually.
Mhm.
Or, if things are looking great, it's like, okay, is there an expansion opportunity in this account? Yeah. Based on the conversations, I think there's an expansion. So AI actually is telling me all of that. I use these assist capabilities day in and day out in my day-to-day job as CEO of Outreach. So that's assistive technology. And then beyond that, we've been talking about agentic. And agentic is what I explained, where the AI actually does the work for you. For example, it's researching the account, the prospects, writing the emails, contacting the prospects, and handing you warm leads. So my vision of AI is that I think agentic AI will pick up in a big way. It's still pretty new in the market, but in this space of um, technology maturity that we're seeing with generative AI, it's very fast actually. So it's moving very fast. So within a few months, we're going to see this technology mature quite a bit. We're seeing all the news flashes going around all around us. I don't want to talk about that, but we're seeing that. And so I think it's evolving very fast. And yes, there is a lot of, I would say, aspirational companies out there. Um, I think they all have great use cases. The problem is when you have like small point solutions, the customer has to string it all together to make it work. And if you don't get the data in one place, it's very difficult for you to make any sense out of it. The AI agents needs data. So we'll see consolidation in this market for sure. And then my vision for the future is when this AI is actually working side by side with the humans, like I explained before, and doing some of the work for you. So you don't have to do the routine and mundane. You can have a better experience. You can actually spend time talking to customers, building relationships, while the mundane, repetitive work is actually done by the AI.
Yeah, I mean, two things. One is that a lot of the day of the average SDR or sales rep was spent trying to dig through and essentially research accounts and data to get some kind of conversation going. So you might need, 25 SDRs to be doing most of the time research. They're essentially like a research team and they have very little actual contact. And so you probably need fewer people doing that now. On the flip side, from the sales leader perspective, that was you needed somebody with 25 years of experience in the industry who's led enterprise teams and can look at a deal and go, this is BS. Tell me more. Now you apply AI to that and you've got a instant BS meter, right?
Yes, again, it all depends on the quality of the data. So, it can go completely haywire if you don't have the right data.
Yeah.
Getting the data in place is super critical, I feel. And that's where,
Yeah.
like when I started with, I said that we have a data cloud that's inbuilt within Outreach. The data that we generate within Outreach is the data we trust the best. And on top of that, obviously, we have CRM data, and we also have data partnerships with data providers uh, who provide third-party signals right into Outreach, actually. So you don't have to go, have your own data provider. Outreach comes with all the plumbings. Um, so that actually is super critical for having the right data. Only then does the bullshit meter work. It doesn't work.
Right, because it can hallucinate. And I'll give you one more quick example is on the Tenbound database, when a new person puts a free profile on Tenbound, I kind of set up a little automation where we would find the director of marketing's email and email them. The problem, as you mentioned, is I get a bounce back immediately because the data sucks. I don't know what the email address is. And so it's like in reality, you got to have the data.
You got to have the data and you have to use it very judiciously. It has to be very personalized, and it has to make sense. Yeah, otherwise you're not going to get much of a response. It's going to be the same thing as was always happening before. So
Yeah.
AI, in my opinion, is going to be dramatically changing the landscape of the software landscape that we see right now in this converged market that I talked about. Sales engagement, revenue intelligence, and Salesforce automation coming in, and uh, and whoever is actually able to harness that power and bring those best practices, uh, you know, in a manner that can be consumed by our customers. So what I will be the market leader, I believe. What I'm seeing a lot of companies do is trying to do it by themselves, um, because AI is a top level mandate. So you have to do something with AI. So now you buy a bunch of different solutions. You try to figure out what to do with it. Um,
Yes.
it's tough actually. So that's why I think those companies who are able to harness all that power into an end-to-end solution and bring that along with the data will be the winners of this market of this game.
So, is there any misperception in the market about outreach and what it can do that frustrates you?
Yes. So outreach is very well known as a prospecting tool, and we are very proud of that. But that is also the reason why most people do not know what we do beyond prospecting. And that is frustrating for all of us here at Outreach, um, because we are so good at one thing, and we have been historically, that it has been difficult for us to explain to our customers and our prospect that, hey, Outreach can do a lot more for you. And those customers who have actually understood that and taken that bold step forward. For example, you said I'm at Arkeo today, and we had one of our customers on stage here telling us how they replaced 5 different systems with Outreach and standardize their entire global workforce. And they started, like you said, David, from the top, from the CRO downward. That's how they started. So they are running their forecasting, they're running their conversation intelligence, they're running their opportunity management, they're running their post-sales process, and they're running all of their pipeline generation, prospecting outbound through outreach. One platform replaced 5 different platforms, and they are super happy with the results that they're getting because now the data is connected. Now you can take action, actually, so that's what I would like my audience to hear from me today, that you can do a lot more with outreach, and we are here for you for that.
So, and maybe that will provide a form of conclusions, but for the listeners who would like to continue their exploration of outreach after your teaser, where should they go? What should they do next?
Well, I think the first stop for those of you who are interested to learn more is our website, outreach.io. Um, Holly, our CMO, joined us recently. She just recently revamped the website, so I'd love to see some feedback on that as well. And so would Holly. But more than that, that's where you can actually, you click on the various persona, you click on the various use cases, the various parts of the platform. We have case studies there as well, and things are getting added every month actually on our website. So you can learn a bit more, and then get in touch with us. We actually have our own AI SDR as well, our own AI prospecting agent, so which is also running behind the scenes. But then we have a fantastic team, a fantastic sales team, a fantastic marketing team also here, who are very eager to get in touch with you and show you what we can do for you, understand your pain points, and see how we can help you get the more out of your investments in outreach. And if you're new customers, then yep, we would love to tell you more about what we do.
Awesome. Well, Abhijit, again, thank you so much for taking time of a important event in the life of a company as kickoff.
Thank you very much for having me here, Nicholas and David. It's a pleasure to be here and talking to you. And Nicholas, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I still remember your coverage of customer service management when we launched it at ServiceNow, and would love to work with you going forward as well.
Thank you.